Hi all, welcome to the How You'll Be Helped to Apply to University session. I can see loads of people joining the session, so just give them a minute or two to do that. If you can just make sure that your microphone's on mute whilst we wait, that'd be perfect. And we'll get started in a minute or two. Loads of people still coming in. Guys, if once you're in, you're realising you're having some technical difficulties, please raise it in the chat and we'll help you as best we can. Last 30 seconds. Okay, guys, going to get started. As you'll be aware, the session's being recorded. If you've got questions, please chuck them into the Q&A box throughout this session. And also, as I said before, if you're having technical difficulties, please chuck them into the chat box. Today, you've got myself, Chris Turner, who's a Spire coordinator at Worthing College. You've got Julia Flynn, who's a career advisor in Progression Plus at Worthing College. Lee Fulham, who's first gen coordinator at Worthing College. And Sally Evans, who works across Chichester College, Worthing College, and will be involved at Hayward Heath College, who's a progression and liaison coach. All right, as I said, please make sure you chuck some questions in the box. I'm going to hand you over to Julia, who's going to start.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. So my role is Careers Advisor at Worthing College, working in the Progression Plus team, but the work that we do is replicated across the group, Chichester, Hayward Heath, and we all deliver the same service. So whatever I say that I do and the support that we offer, that's right across the board at Hayward Heath as well. So I'm going to, before starting to talk about the university aspect, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Progression Plus does, just to give you a bit of context. So we help students with anything at all regarding their progression after college. So as soon as you arrive, we're already talking about what you're going to do when you leave, which seems a bit weird, but we like to be organised and ready for whatever happens. So we're available for appointments one-to-one, for drop-in support at lunchtimes. We help with you finding part-time work, apprenticeships in the future, full-time employment. We give mock interviews, provide CV feedback, anything at all to do with work and your forward planning. And of course, we give the UCAS support, which is what I'm going to talk about now. Next slide, please. So the service that we offer at Worthing, Hayward Heath and Chichester, actually, let's go back a bit. To begin with, you're going to be introduced to UCAS and university by your tutors. They will give you the first introduction in the summer term of your first year, and thereafter Progression Plus takes over, and we provide workshops. They could be bookable or drop-in. We help you with the whole application process, providing feedback for your personal statement, and we invite universities in to help with this process as well, so that you can actually speak to them direct. We also train your parents and carers, because they need to know what you're doing so that they can support you. And if you decide not to apply to university whilst you're at college, we also give support for ex-students. So if you leave and then a year or so later you think, oh, I need some help with applying to university, come back to us and we give you exactly the same full support service. So no worries there. Next slide, please. Okay, so the workshops we deliver, we start right at the beginning with how to find the right course, how to find the right university. We help you understand what the entry requirements are for those courses, because they're all different in all the universities, and for each course it's different. So we go through the entire application process, including a sort of general overview of the personal statement, but there will be specific workshops for the personal statement as well, because that's something that people do tend to get hung up about. It's really easy, actually. So once we tell you the process, you'll be able to go away and do it yourselves without any problem. So yeah, that's the workshops. Next slide, please. Yeah, well, Unifrog, we're really excited this year because we are introducing a new system to help with personal statement writing on Unifrog, which some of you might have already come across in schools. The benefits are that there's a template there for you to get started. There's good examples of personal statements, and you can write and edit it online in Unifrog, and your tutors and Progression Plus people can look at it and help you and make comments to improve it. So we're looking forward to getting that started this year. Next one, please. University also run clinics. So the first time you'll come across that will be at Careers Inspiration Day, which is held in the spring term of your first year. And they offer talks to every single student, whether you're thinking about going to university or not. And their talk is why go to university, so well worth going to. They then offer workshops. They give personal statement feedback, and particularly for specific courses like healthcare related courses, teaching, they'll also offer interviews, mock interviews, to get you practicing. They can also give you extra help with matters such as student finance and accommodation at their particular universities. So the universities that come in are generally the local ones, which a lot of our students are going to anyway. So that's the clinics. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about today, but if you've got any questions, please make a note, come back to me. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in Progression Plus.
Excellent, thanks Julia. Just got a couple of questions that I want to try and answer live there, which have come up, which I don't know if they're really specific to yourself and Progression Plus, but a bit more wider. So got a good question. Do you think circumstances this year not being able to take GCSEs will affect your university chances? I like to answer that one and say, no, not at all. Every single student of your age at this level will be in exactly the same position. You've also got 2 years until you potentially start university, a year until you start applying for university. So we've got lots of time to hopefully get over this situation and make the best possible application that we can do. Here we go. Do you think... So that's the circumstances one, which is done. And I think we're okay to move on now. So guys, I'm going to talk to you about the Aspire programme, which we run at Worthing College, and it will also be mirrored at Haywards Heath College. I'm going to talk to you everything about the Aspire programme and the different bits that are involved within it. If we can go next slide, please. So the vision for our Aspire programme is to enhance and enrich all students. I don't want you to come away from today's session thinking that Aspire is only for the students who want to apply for Oxford or Cambridge, or are classified as an early applicants as students wanting to apply for medicine, dentistry, or any vet-based courses. Aspire is there to support everybody and to help you become the best student you can be, and to help you create the best application you can do. There is an aspect of Aspire as well where we aim to support our students with successful applications to competitive universities for the sort of courses which require an early application. So again, Oxford or Cambridge, medicine, dentistry, or vet. Next page for us. There's 5 key elements to Aspire. The first one's CUP, and I did say to a student I would answer one of your questions live, and this is where the CUP part comes in. To gain a place on CUP, you are selected based on your GCSE grades. So what we'll do is we'll take the top 25 achieving students based on your GCSE grades that you've been provided with this year. And the way CUP works is you have a 2-hour lesson a week with your Aspire coordinator. Up until Christmas, it's a bit dangerous because that Aspire coordinator has free rein to do what they want, but it's normally academic skills, so referencing, debate skills, making sure you're on the right qualifications, etc. And then after Christmas, you get to do what's known as an EPQ. An EPQ stands for an extended project qualification. CUP students are the only students in the college that are unable to do that in year 12. And what's good about that is when you have to do your application, because it's due before most students, normally the 15th of October, you can talk about it in the application and as part of your interview process. There's lots of benefits being able to do an EPQ as well. We also have Aspire lectures. So throughout the year, we have 8 different lectures that run normally on a Wednesday afternoon when most students are free, or over lunchtime if they're not. And each time we target a different area and ask an entrepreneur, a specialist, a charity worker to come in and deliver a thought-provoking lecture that you could potentially talk about as part of your application process. Number 4 and 5, as you'll see on your screen, is all about UCAS. So within Aspire, we support the students that are doing early applications. As part of an early application, yes, it's due earlier, normally 3-4 months earlier. And you also have to do interviews. You also have to do entrance tests. So we provide support with that through weekly sessions and support seminars. At the moment, we're doing all of that virtually. Hopefully by the time you guys get to it, we'll be back in the classroom. We also provide practice interviews, and we'll also provide support with the entrance tests that students have to complete. Next slide, please. So when we talk about the Aspire journey, it starts now, and it might have started before because you would have heard of Aspire or CUP as hopefully as part of open events and introductory days you've done in past, or taster days. And what I'm trying to say to you is the good question we had earlier of, will this affect us? If we follow the journey and pathway and all the provision that we're talking to you about today, whilst you're at college, you will not be affected. There'll be lots of opportunities shared with you to be able to take part in. And if you embrace all of those aspects, you'll be able to hopefully reach the destination of your choice in terms of university and qualification. Next slide, please. So I'd be lying to you if I said that applying for university isn't a challenging process, and then applying for an early application course is even more challenging because the statistics are against you. A good example, Oxford University, nearly 24,000 students apply each year. And then with that, over 19,000 automatically meet the entry criteria, but there's only 3,000 spaces. So straight away you start doing the math and the ratios of, well, how many spaces do they have and how many students interview for it? Okay, and your odds are about 1 to 8, if not higher on some courses. When we work through this process, as a college, we're aware of the struggles and the aspects of the university application process that is difficult, and that's why we have Progression Plus, that's why we use UniFrog, that's why we have an Aspire coordinator that has early application support, that's why we have CUP. So that way we can hopefully climb the green ladder and use a bit of growth mindset to do as well as we can do. Next slide for us. The Aspire programme as well as a proven programme. Last year we had 35 applicants who were classified as early apps, and of those 34 received at least 1 offer, if not more. Okay, it's a great statistic. Also mentioned earlier about Oxford and Cambridge. So year before last we had a few students apply for it. Last year we had 18, of which there's been 6 who have received offers from Oxbridge-based university. Lots of attendance to our Aspire lectures over the 2 years. The average has been about 60 students. And then also you can see that our early app numbers are ever increasing. So I think there's more awareness now and students are more aware of the possibilities for them regarding an early application based course. Next slide for us. It's a bit cheese now, but I think if you were to go away today and go, well, what's Aspire? Well, you're going to get lots of emails, posters, people coming to your classrooms telling you about Aspire opportunities. And at the end of the day, it's to facilitate and develop all students and our early apps to reach that educational summit. And without it, be quite hard to do. Next slide for us. Just gonna let you read that. And then last slide for us. So it's good to think about in terms of Aspire. We use that word as a program because when we ask you to aspire, it's not to have more, but to be more. And the students that have the most successful education experience and also go to their first choice universities, they embrace learning. And it's really important you do that from start to finish while you're with us. If you've got more questions about Aspire, have a look at those in a sec. But if you want more information, there's some QR codes on the screen that you could scan quickly if you wanted to. So just having a quick look at some of the questions. What is an EPQ? So an EPQ is an extended project qualification. It's worth an AS and it's worth some UCAS points. It doesn't take up one of your choices that you want to study whilst at college. What's great about it is you can do it in anything you want. So a good example, last year had a student really into physics. He did his on renewable energy on asteroids. I had to help him with this, which is a bit difficult, but it was great for him, something to talk about at university in terms of his interview, and he put it on his personal statement as well. If you're not on CUP, you can do an EPQ in your second year, and you'll start that at the end of year 12. You can appeal to hopefully be part of CUP if you're not naturally put onto CUP, and if there's room, we'll do that. But also some people go on to CUP and then decide that it's not for them, so spaces become available. Another question here, who runs CUP? Currently, yes, it is myself, but as of September, it will be the new Aspire coordinator. So you'll have somebody new as of September. Do you still get help applying for competitive universities? Yes, so as of from April as year 12, you'll get support from the Aspire coordinator, normally on a weekly basis. Obviously at the moment we're doing it virtually, and we help all early applicants, and they will have sessions on everything. So how to apply, what to apply, types of universities, personal statements, entrance tests, interviews, and then we do that face-to-face as well. To make sure we stay with our time, we're going to move on and pass on to Lee, and then I'm just going to keep answering some of the questions that are coming up in the box. Over to you, Lee.
Cool, thanks very much. Hi everyone, I'm Lee. I am the first generation coordinator over at Worthing College, and my role is about offering opportunities to students thinking about going to uni. So the first generation programme has been set up by the college, which offers students support and guidance throughout their year 12 studies. And more importantly, it's helping you to transition from college life into university life and study. Next slide. To be eligible for the programme, there's a wide range of criteria that you can tick. And as a note, you only need to be able to tick one of the boxes on screen in order to be eligible. Most students end up joining up because their parents didn't go to university. But for some students, they might be part of the programme because they are in care, or their family's got low income, or any of the other boxes that you can see on screen. And if it relates to you, then you're eligible. Next slide. In terms of the benefits, there's a wide range that each university can offer you. So some universities will offer guaranteed interviews on certain courses. Some will offer grade drops or extra UCAS points. So for example, some universities might ask for 3 A-levels at AAB. And if you end up achieving a BBB, they will consider and accept your application. Universities will offer bespoke workshops and taster days in specific subject areas. So for example, I took a group to Southampton University for a media day where they met the lecturers and they spent the whole day filming a horror movie and learning how to edit and add in special effects, whereas others were doing like a TV game show. So every single university hosts different types of events with different subjects, and it's up to you, and you really need to take advantage of what the universities offer. Aside from that, some universities can offer bursaries and scholarships. So basically it's free money to help you with your studies. The universities can offer you employment as well. So you could work as a student rep or a student ambassador. So you've got a steady income whilst you're studying at university. And they can also offer very subject-specific support when it comes to your UCAS applications to make sure that you stand out from everyone else. Next slide. Now, as for the universities involved, these are some of the partner universities that we work with that offer a lot of events and support to our students. The main ones being Brighton and Sussex University. Other universities do also offer incentives and initiatives, but it's going to be down to you to go onto those university websites and actually see what programs they run and what they can offer you. Because again, every university wants you to come along to them, so it's up to you to find out what can they give you. Also, just as a side note, The programme is not just about wanting you to go to Brighton or Sussex University or any of those universities that are on the list. It's about using them and using the universities for the resources that they provide. So, for example, you might want to go to Bath or Liverpool University, but for the next year, you might just want to use Brighton and use Winchester and Southampton and all the ones we've got on screen, as it just helps you to transition so that when you start university, it's not going to be so scary when you start for the first time. And also just to get a subject taster so you know what the courses are like, and it will help you to make up your mind when you're picking your 5 UCAS options. Okay, that's it.
That's great. Thanks, Lee. Going to pass straight over to you, Sally. Sorry, you've got a short amount of time. Guys, if you've got questions, keep them coming in the box for us.
That's no problem. I'll be as quick as I can. I'm Sally. I'm one of 4 people that form the SLN Connect team. I work across the college group. So I predominantly work at Worthing, but there will be a presence in Haywards Heath. There are some similarities with what we and the first generation do. And as you can see, there are some slight differences that you can see on the slide there. Our main difference is that we're government funded, and SLN or Sussex Learning Network are responsible for distributing those funds. And it's predominantly for those areas that are particularly underrepresented in higher education. Next slide, please. So we are currently planning an exciting calendar of events for next year. We work across schools and colleges, so we can bring people up and through to understand more about further education and what that means for them. Peer mentoring is a big factor. We started a program here in Worthing, but obviously that was cut short with with the lockdown. But our peer mentors have stepped up to the mark and then now have produced an 8-week study skills program. If you would like to see what that actually looks like, we've got an SLN Connect YouTube channel, and you can have a look at what they've actually achieved and give you some study tips for the future. We also have done apprenticeship events, and we've taken schools to the Amex to help with their skills for the future as well. We do individualise our support as well, so we do have support with progression events and help with UCAS applications, open days, travel costs, apprenticeship costs, and university and apprenticeship interviews. So that was it in brief, and it just gives you a flavour of the kind of support that we offer. Thank you very much for your time that you've given us today, and we hope that you found the information useful. I'm going to hand you back to Chris.
Excellent. Thank you, Sally. So guys, we're running really short on time. We'll try and get a response to most of your questions that we've got here. If you do have any questions in the future, please get in touch with your selected college, so either Haywards Heath College or Worthing College. There'll be loads of resources online. It's been obviously great to speak to you today. We wish you all the best at Haywards Heath or Worthing College as of September. Take care and good luck.